Want to boost your performance in the gym? Consume caffeine. Okay, basically, yesterday I read this paper from 2018, namely because Dr. Gab told me to, and the paper took around 20 different studies and reviewed all of them in order to answer the question regarding how caffeine intake affects your muscular strength and your muscular power. And what the research found was that yes, caffeine actually does enhance the performance of your muscular strength and power. Now, despite reading these conclusions, I was still a bit skeptical considering that the participation pools in these studies were extremely small. So I continued looking, only to find this paper from 2016, which showed that not only did caffeine intake enhance both muscular strength and power, but it also seems to have a positive effect on endurance. And it doesn't stop there, as during my research, I also found this paper from 2025, which took 12 studies with a total of 230 participants and basically discovered from this review of these 12 studies that, once again, caffeine does, in fact, enhance muscular power. So now we know that caffeine seems to have a lot of ergogenic, also known as performance-enhancing traits, which now begs the question, how does caffeine do all of this? Well, have no fear, as this paper from 2020 might have an answer, as this publication seems to go over the potential mechanisms that take place whenever caffeine is ingested in order to have these ergogenic effects. One of which being that caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in your central nervous system, which not only increases your alertness, but also seems to block the feeling of physical exertion you have during exercise, which could be a suitable method for increasing your endurance. There's also some mechanisms that might improve strength and power in your muscles, like the explanation of how caffeine intake increases the calcium ion production in your muscle cells, which affects you by enhancing your muscle contractions, strength, and overall performance. Now, after reading all these papers, it explains quite a bit, specifically why athletes that primarily strength train use pre-workout, as pre-workout contains a decent amount of caffeine that's meant to be consumed before you work out. So that caffeine that you're consuming before you go to the gym is not only waking you up, it's also scientifically improving your athletic performance.